And good morning. Another show about your house coming your way from the podcast studio at the Toolbox. Happy cold winter, everybody. Gosh, we got a lot to talk about winter and cold. So much to talk about, it's hard to even talk about it. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, but I think whatever problems you might have around cold, I think we've experienced it. Let me introduce my guests. We got two guests, actually, from the new studio here. I got Brian Morehouse with S&N Infrastructure. Good morning, Mr. Morehouse. How are you doing?
Good morning, Ray. Thank you for having us on.
I appreciate you just burring it down in the cold and coming up and visiting with us today. I appreciate you coming in.
Definitely. Thank you for having us. And it was a good drive in. I mean, thank goodness this wasn't yesterday. But yesterday, I think the ice was on the roads, but today was pretty good coming down here into Charlotte from Shelby.
It wasn't bad yesterday afternoon. We got a lot of sunshine and a lot of passive solar hitting the roads out yesterday afternoon. But any rate, it got cold. Last night it got down to 18, I believe. And tonight, I don't know how cold it's going to get. I don't have the weather pulled up. But it's going to get cold again. But I've got also another guest, and that's Chessa Trimble. Chessa, you with me?
Yes, I'm here, Ray.
There she is. She's dialing us in. I'm not used to all this technology. She's behind me on the screen. And what we're doing today is we're talking about S&N Infrastructure. Brian, I'm going to let you tell our listeners out there, what is S&N Infrastructure?
Well, S&N Infrastructure is a turnkey operation. We end up doing underground boring. We also do overhead electric distribution, and we're also back into the locating game.
Oh, locating. So
yes.
Y'all are locating again? Y'all are locating just like NC 811?
Well, many people call NC 811, put in their locate request, and we have certain stakeholders that we end up locating for in North Carolina, Virginia, and now Georgia. So it's been really good. We decided to get back into the game right around 2023, and we saw a great need and being back in to the locate business. We used to be in it, then ended up getting out of it and decided to get back into it. So we do a lot of things with fiber. As you know, fiber is a real big thing nowadays.
What's fiber?
Fiber?
Now, you speak of it like it's just like Hershey candy bars. I mean, what's fiber? You know, what's fiber? Come on.
So fiber is the new way nowadays. Everybody's wanting fiber to the home, being able to have better internet, and it's just really taken off in probably the last 3 to 4 years.
Well, I got fiber optics here in the studio back some 3-4 years back because I knew what was coming with the podcast studio with bandwidth and all that technology talk. You got to have it.
You do. And it's really good to be able to have. A lot of people are getting it in their areas now. Saw a great need in it after 2020, after we went through COVID. A lot of people weren't being able to stay in touch, be able to do homeschooling, things like that. Nowadays, making that technology more available even to the rural areas.
Well, you know, S&N Infrastructure has donated to Put Tools in Schools, and you've come to several events around Put Tools in Schools and the Trades Career Days. And I personally want to thank S&N Infrastructure for stepping up and supporting us, because we definitely need more of industry stepping up and supporting the mission. And a quick note, you've participated in 3 or 4 events now?
Yeah.
Around Put Tools in Schools, but you've been to other school districts and you participated in other initiatives, have you not?
Yeah, we are based out of Virginia, Louisa, Virginia. That's our headquarters, and we've been involved with CTE programs. Mm-hmm. And then we decided, after talking with you, I happen to know you from my NC 811 days, having me on the show, and we ended up talking about this program, and you were telling me all the efforts that you were putting into it and all the hard work, and we want to be able to be part of it, show everyone that Put Tools in Schools. A lot of people don't go to college, and they're not ready for college when they get out of high school.
Well, you know, the sad part is, and I think you will concur with me, not only do they not go to college, but they definitely want to go to college because they have been herded, that's right, I said herded, down the gates to Happy Degreeville College. And most of the middle school kids, if not all, let's just say the vast majority, don't even know what the trades are.
And they really don't. A lot of people think that you do have to go off to college, get that 4-year degree, be able to have that bachelor's, and then your life will be able to start. But the trades is where it's at. You think about it. When was the last time you called HVAC company and try to get them to repair your heating unit? I imagine that's a big thing right now with all the cold weather that we've been having. But, you know, people don't understand there's a lot of money to be made in the trades as an electrician, HVAC, and plumbing.
Not only that, you got automotive, you got welding, you got drywall, you got painting, you got concrete work, flat work, masonry. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And really what it boils down to is service industry, serving purpose. Every day you get up, you put your work clothes on, you go out and you serve purpose, and you service people's lives in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. You're doing that with S&N Infrastructure, and what y'all do, you're doing the same thing. So y'all are part of the trades.
Yes.
With the infrastructure side, but we can't put a name on that necessarily. You know, and that's why I love it when you come on the show to show another side to Put Tools in Schools with all the, well, let's take Chessa Trimble. Chessa, good morning again. Now it's your turn. Chessa, what do you do for S&N?
I am a site superintendent for the underground drilling and boring section of the company.
What does Chessa do? Now, I know you just told me your position, but what do you do?
So it's a mix, I would say, which is probably what I like most about it. A big part of it is safety on site. So checking on the drill crews, making sure that we're following all of the required procedures and laws, potholing all of the utilities, which means once 811 comes through and marks utilities, anywhere that our lines are going to cross a utility, we have to dig down and visually lay eyes on the depth to make sure that we miss that with the drill head. So a lot of like safety checks, you know, hard hats, glasses, gloves, etc. And then aside from that, it's also making sure all the materials that are needed are on site, the wires being kept track of, you know, making sure that everything's moving smoothly. And before the process begins, making sure we get those tickets into 811 and doing all the pre-con meetings to make sure that whatever utility provider we're servicing,
right,
that we are following and executing the plan as according to the plan.
Okay, I got it. Now,
yes.
How long have you been with S&N?
My 1-year anniversary is just a matter of days away.
Well, congratulations. I have an anniversary today, and let me go ahead and say it's my birthday today.
Oh,
happy birthday.
Yeah, it's my birthday today. Yay! It's my birthday. I'm 74 years old. And notice I didn't say young. No, I'm 74 going on 40.
There you go.
So it's okay. It's all in your attitude. And it's just a number. So anyway, now you're coming up on the 1-year anniversary. Get back to the topic at hand, and that be you, girl. Okay, and you're a young lady. You're in your early 30s, I take it, somewhere there around. Yes. And how did you get to where you are at? In other words, you're a project manager for S&N Infrastructure. You got a 1-year anniversary. Well, that puts you around 30 years old, which is cool. But how did you get there? What'd you do before this, if you don't mind me asking?
It's been a long road. It's been,
Isn't that long? You're only 30. Goodness gracious, girl. Now, I can tell you about a long road if you want to talk, but no, just keep talking. I'm just messing with you.
It started, I'd say, probably over a decade ago. You know, definitely is when my journey began that ends me up where I'm at. But I lived in Colorado. I worked first as a groundskeeper at an apartment complex, and then they needed some shoes filled in the maintenance department. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And they were like, well, we'll have someone teach you if you're interested. So that's where I started. And I did a whole lot of an array. So a little bit of plumbing, a little bit of painting, a little bit of electrical. And when I left there and moved to Virginia, I worked at a maintenance company. And that's actually the first time I heard about technical schools to go and learn actually the trades.
Okay, I got to stop you. Got to put on brakes here because I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that school to come into the conversation, see? Because
Yeah.
you said about 10 years ago, I'm pretty good at math. If you take 30, you deduct 10, you're right around 20 years old. Did you go to college at the early young age of 18 to 19?
I did attempt community college more than once. It just never was for me.
Well, let's tell the truth now. That's a good story. I love it. It just never clicked for you, did it?
No, it's just not the structure of standard school is not just not the environment that I learned the best in.
You and nobody else, but you're just another example, and that's
Yeah.
that's why we tell the stories. That's exactly why I wanted you to tell your story. Okay, so you coast along, you get to be a groundskeeper, and you're just eating this stuff up, loving it, and that's where it started.
Yes, yeah, and really, especially like the electrical side, you know,
There
was
you
where
go, dealing with the
when I
current.
got, yeah, when I got to looking at maintenance, and I did enjoy like learning all the different parts, like how easy it was to switch out a toilet, something I thought would be that I never thought I'd be capable of doing. Once I learned how to do
Isn't
it, I
that
was like,
amazing,
wow.
Chessa? You put a tool, you put the right tool in your hand, use that brain God gave you, and out comes that genius you always had with you. Isn't it amazing?
It is, and it's very empowering, I will say.
Thank you
And
for
I just
saying that. Very
yeah,
empowering. Did you hear that, folks?
yeah.
Very empowering. Here's a young lady, and we got off on the plumbing venture there. That's pretty neat. It started
It
with
was
talking about
it was the
electricity.
one thing.
You jumped right
Yeah,
on
it's the
into
one
the
thing.
toilet. I love it.
Because it's all encompassing. You could learn anything. I think is the big takeaway for me is like you can learn how to do anything if you set your mind to it.
And you
It's
can
very
do
doable.
anything with the right tools, can't you?
Yes, yeah, you can.
Keep
Yeah.
talking. Okay, now you off and on your way. Someone told you about a technical school. Keep talking.
Yes. Yeah, so I got to the Central Virginia area and I told people I wanted to specialize and pick a trade because I thought getting a certification was going to secure my ability, hopefully, to be taken more seriously in the industry and guarantee longevity in a career field. So, as much as I wanted to be a framer, I thought
If you
that
want,
maybe
hold
being an
on.
electrician was
We
more.
we jumped from the
As
commode to now you want to be a framer. Man, I
I
love you.
thought building houses would be cool, physically
It is. It's
putting the walls up.
it is cool.
But I am small, so I wasn't so sure how well that would work out for me.
All right. And
So,
what'd you do about it?
so I called the school, and this amazing woman, Deborah Gannon, answered the phone, and I said, "I hear you have an electrical program. How do I get started?" And she said, "Class starts tonight. If you're interested, just show up." And I did.
I told this same story basically, did I not, guys, last week about how you can walk in a door and say, "I want to be." And if the people can feel that energy of your desire and your passion and your intensity, by gosh, you will get a job that day. And you pretty much did.
Yes, yeah. So that's how I got my foot in the door of school. And then that's a 4-year program that's combined with OJL, on the job learning. And then you go to class one night a week for 3 hours over the course of 4 years. And then you're eligible to take a journeyman's exam. And you have to accumulate 8,000 OJL hours. So I
Right.
started that process.
Okay,
Which,
but you
yeah.
got paid every day when you went to work. We can't forget that part. Is that correct? We're not doing an
That
intern.
is
Are we not doing an internship? You get up, you go to work, you play their game, and you're getting paid in the process. Am I correct?
Yes, and occasionally, if you're lucky, your employer sometimes will cover the cost of your school, and occasionally as well cover the cost of your books to take to school.
And how'd that work out for you?
It worked out well. I actually, when I started, because I was at a like maintenance company, I actually had to find a different job specifically in the electrical field. So I paid for my first semester and my first book, and then after that, everywhere I worked covered the remaining cost for me for the rest of my years.
Well, let me ask you a question because we got to include it all, Chessa. Okay, who bought your
Yeah.
tools when you went to an electrical firm?
I actually have invested and in
Okay.
all of my tools.
So you bought your
Yes,
tools.
I did.
Cool.
Yes,
Well, that's
my
great. I just
family
want to
helped.
tell people all the whole story because, folks, let me tell you something about the trades. They're great. God, I love the trades. I love tools. Tools are toys. Are they not, Jessa? Are they not toys?
They are.
They're
They are.
toys. They're just more expensive. And I don't know that they're that much more expensive after Christmas this year. But anyway, at any rate, so you can do anything you set your mind to, but you can't do it without the equipment to perform and complete the task, and they're called tools. And tools come in many shapes, sizes, like trucks, like boom trucks. They're all tools, are they not?
They are.
And boring machines. Now, let me ask you this, Chessa. Have you ever operated a piece of machinery?
I've driven like a tractor, but I've
Well,
not
that's a piece of
operated
machinery.
much.
Well, that's
Yeah, and I've operated a bucket truck a little bit, and that's about it.
bucket truck. Cool. Infrastructure equipment. Yeah. Okay. So you've been with S&N. Where do you see yourself in a year or 2 years, whatever? Are you a happy
I
girl?
mean, yeah, I love what I do. I
That's a
love,
good word right there. I love what I do. I love it.
yeah, I like both sides of it. I think also a lot of what makes me enjoy my job is working with good crews and other crew members on a good team and being a true team, working together to accomplish the same goal. And I enjoy reassuring customers of the process. I think it's easy when you work outside of someone's home to forget that you're still at someone's house and they want to know what's going on and what to expect.
Cool. It's called, what's the most important thing you do every day? I tell
Make
kids,
sure everyone's safe. That's
what,
the most
you
important.
can't do this without the answer, though. What is it? Most important thing you do every day. We're doing it now. What is it?
Getting up in the morning, I don't know, talking,
Communication.
communication. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I agree
Communication.
with that.
The most important thing we do every day. Now I'm gonna get personal. If you want me to shut up, all you gotta do is just tell me to. I don't want to talk about that. Is there a significant other in your life?
Yes, I am married.
You're married. Wonderful. Good to hear there's a man in your life. I guess
Yes.
you know. So just wanted to know that there's not enough men out there, and here's a tough woman in the trades, and now you got your good. What's he do? Can I ask that?
He also is in construction. He's
All
working for
right, a
himself.
family full
Yeah,
of it. Yeah,
yeah.
it's good.
Flipping his first house right now.
Good stuff. Now, how did you meet him in connection with your job by chance?
That's so funny. I
Yeah, I can
somewhat
be
did.
funny sometimes.
Yeah,
But that was a
I, w-
yes.
I was complaining at the supply house when I first moved to Virginia about not knowing anyone, and I thought I was making it clear that I was just asking like for like girlfriends to go hang out with and talk to because at the time I worked with my boss and it was
Right.
just him and myself on job sites full of men, and I was like, where is my social life going to come from? But the guy behind the counter is the one who recommended my now husband be someone that I meet. So I did, and it worked out.
Ain't that special? That's great.
Yes.
Well, good. How long you been married?
We've been married, I think it's going on 4 years.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. Well, congratulations on that, and I wish you many, many, many happy years. What's the most important thing you do with him every day?
I would say it's like, yeah, communicating, checking in with each other every day. How was your day? What'd you do?
Bingo. It fits.
Yeah.
It's on top rung of the ladder as far as communicating priorities.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the whole problem in relationships. People don't communicate. Keep up the good work.
Yes.
Now, would you recommend your job or career pathway to other females?
Yeah, I would. I mean, whether that was sticking more to hands-on electrical or the position I'm in now, I think both are extremely fulfilling. And I've always, really strongly believed that, men and women are very different and we each bring something different to the table. But really, women underestimate some of the skills that they have that they could bring to the table with attention to detail, communication, etc., that I think they would make them all thrive very successfully in similar environments. And the other thing I say is a lot of women think they can't do the types of jobs that I've done, but really, as you've said, tools are the key. If
What
I can't physically do it, there is a tool out there, I promise you, that can.
What's the biggest obstacle you faced in your whole life? And we all do. We all share that. What is it? All
I
these little
think,
tests I give you, all these little test questions.
I know, right? Yeah. I mean, I think some of the biggest obstacles are, basically, I'd say mindset. You've got to have determination and the right mindset to know that.
There's one word, and you just said it. It's called fear.
Yes.
Fear.
Yeah. Fear can hold you back, paralyze you if you let it.
And that's the biggest culprit in progressive life is fear. We experience it at Put Tools in Schools, the trades career days. Kids are afraid to talk. I talk about communicating a lot, as you've just recognized. And the reason being is because we've lost the art. We're losing it quickly due to AI and the downturn. Well, let's just say stupidity. We're literally instilling fear in our students to keep them from talking and being the complete person they are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you've seen that, haven't you?
Yes.
With the kids and with students. And not only that, but young adults, older adults. They all have this fear of being and asking a question that might sound stupid. There are no stupid questions.
None.
There are none. No stupid questions at all. So we got to defeat the fear. And you just said it, didn't you?
And one thing that we're finding out when we go into these schools is they are scared to talk about certain things, talking about their education and what they're going to end up doing. A lot of them will end up saying that they're going to go to college because that's expected of them. But they don't realize that there's so much more out there with getting involved in our apprenticeship and internship and being able to develop off of that. But once we talk to these students at these events that Put Tools in Schools are putting on, they really come out. They come out and they just start talking, and they start talking about what their mom and dads do for a living and, how their mom or dad got to where they're at. I was put on the spot with one young gentleman because he helped his dad put fiber in.
Oh, really?
And yeah, he started telling me, I started doing this over the summer and I do that. I was like, well, you know a little bit about fiber. What do you want to do after you get out of school? And this was a high school that we were at that time. And he says, I just don't know. And at 18 years old, I remember I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Why would you?
Well,
they push it on you, literally expect you as a young student in school to know what you want to do when they never showed you the full menu.
That can be very true. And I had a lot of people that were going off to college, so I didn't know if I wanted to do the college thing. My parents, as I told you on a previous show, my whole family came up through Newport News Shipbuilding in Newport News, Virginia. Very big shipyard, one of the top shipyards around. Welding. And I thought that's what I needed to do. But after I got into it, and after about 3 years of going to school and everything else, I was like, is this what I really want to do? And I started putting in my resume application to Virginia Power back then in Virginia, now as Dominion Energy. And I thought I was being interviewed to go to Surrey Nuclear Power Plant as a welder. And next thing I know, I was in the electrical department. I don't know whether I failed the test or passed it. I would like to say I passed the test. And it was a great career, but I remember my mom being so scared that I was going into the electrical business because I knew nothing about electrical. And it was a great opportunity for me. And I really enjoyed it, and I stayed with it, and that's what my life has been all about.
Gotcha.
And there's just so many things that you can be able to do. And getting back to when I was in high school, a lot of my friends were going in the military. and I didn't know if I wanted to go in the military. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but it's like people like us that are in these schools now and talking with them and letting them know what kind of opportunities are out there and what they can be able to do to be able to get into the trades.
Gotcha. Well, let me take a breather here, folks, because I got to talk about my sponsors. You know, we couldn't do this without the support of our sponsors. And every week we do a show about your house, and it's brought to you by Queen City Home Store, queencityonline.com. You can shop right online. That's queencityonline.com. Numerous stores. The NARI meeting, the National Association of the Remodeling Industry, had its kickoff meeting for January at the new home store down in Pineville. Went down there last Thursday evening and joined the whole membership in the new store. Great store, something I highly recommend. Go visit them down there in the Carolina Place Mall out parcels. You can't help but miss it. There's two stores, one across the street from each other. But that's Queen City Home Store, been in Charlotte since 1952. Great store, great staff. If you're looking for appliances now, you want to furnish that home, they've got some great specials going on in the furniture department. Go online, that's queencityonline.com, or give corporate a call, 704-391-6000. Also brought to you by Put Tools in Schools, puttoolsinschools.org. Raising the awareness with our students in schools throughout the Charlotte-Mecklenburg system and beyond. And we definitely need to do some work there, folks. And when I say put tools in schools, as witnessed by our guest today, Miss Jessa Trimble, you can't do much without tools. Well, kids don't know tools unless we present them to us. That's puttoolsinschools.org. We need your help. Help how? Volunteer, step up, donate, Join in the fight, and I say a fight because you wouldn't believe that something so simple as showing up, engaging kids in face-to-face, engaging them with activities, with tools, could change a life. But it's amazing. It works. So join in. Industry, we need your help. Also brought to you by ABS Insulating, absinsulating.com. If you didn't experience cold weather this week, well, I don't know where you were, because I think we were eat up with it. What do you think?
Yeah, we definitely were.
But now, as I've said many times in the second hour or two coming up, I'm going to talk a little bit about this cold weather. I seem like I talk about it a lot, but I don't think you can talk about cold weather enough to be prepared for it. But ABS Insulating is a company you need to know if you're looking to encapsulate that attic. And I'll talk about attics and what encapsulation could do to your energy and comfort bill. So we'll talk more about that. That's absinsulating.com or 704-821-4343. And got Brian Morehouse and Jessa Trimble as our guest today from S&N Infrastructure. And Jessa, a young female in the industry. I want to talk about boring machines. Jessa, you with me?
Yes.
You know much about boring machines?
I do know a good bit, yes.
When you say good bit, could you operate one?
I cannot, but it is a goal of mine eventually to be able to.
Well, let me ask you, those machines, now I'm talking about them because actually you're out in the field and you're a project manager, and that's one of the key tools that you use every day, is it not? I'm guessing based on fiber optics, because fiber optics is installed with those boring machines. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
Correct.
In many areas, I mean, I know you'll see these boring machines. They'll be in your neighborhoods. A lot of people end up asking, what is that machine doing in the neighborhood? A lot of times people will tell me, nobody's been digging across my property. But the boring machines they have, you'll be potholing, making sure that the drill head is going through area safely, that you're not doing anything